Scalzo, who was out of trophies, coming across the line with a 61.739, 61.739. That is an improvement of 0.4 of a second for her. But don't think that's going to be enough to move her up into trophies. So unofficially, in D-Stock Ladies, taking the third trophy spot, Ann Heller, Jarrett Zoner taking second, and unofficially your new national champion in D-Stock Ladies, Lynn Collins, in the Dodge Neon by over 0.7 of a second, 0.712. We're into G-Stock again, car number 1. That is John T. McDonald. John in with a 62.590, 62.590, and no help for John McDonald there. Next to finish, car number 2, Bob Clark, sitting in 10th after second runs. Bob in with a 60.278, 60.278, a 0.3 pickup for Bob Clark. That could move him up a couple of spots at this point. He was again sitting in the 10th trophy spot, but many drivers, actually all but 2, yet to run, yet to finish. Car number 4 coming in, getting ready to finish, and Cindy Feinberg just finishing, car number 85 with a 66.326, 66.326 for car number 85, Cindy Feinberg. And here comes Tammy Scalzo, our 4th place driver from yesterday, and she crosses the lights with a 62.595, and believe it or not, that is exactly the same time that Jarrett Zoner ran a few moments ago. So again, a 62.595 for car 91, Tammy Scalzo in D-Stock Ladies. So at the moment, we have Jarrett Zoner taking over the top spot by almost 0.7 of a second over Tammy Scalzo, and Mary E. Daniel Fisher in the 3rd trophy spot right now. Again, we have cones on 2 of the top 3 drivers from yesterday, and that could make things rather interesting. And that puts us into G-Stock action now with car number 2. And John McDonald had already finished car number 1, and he had a time of 62.899, 62.899 for John McDonald, car number 1. Car number 2 that just finished was Bob Clark, and Bob had a 61.700, but that was +1 for Bob Clark. And Jarrett, I think, Lynn had the lead by a little over 0.3 from yesterday. Yeah, so it looks like Lynn Collins is going to move herself back into the lead. Meanwhile, car 85, Cindy Feinberg, crosses the lights with a 64.218, 64.218 for car 85, Cindy Feinberg. And that'll leave us with Tammy Scalzo, who's sitting in 2nd after first runs, with a 62.157. So a lot of close times here in D-Stock Ladies. And we will be looking at Lynn Collins in the lead now by 0.20 of a second over Jarrett Zoner, with Ann Heller moving herself back to the 3rd spot, about a little under 0.7 behind Jarrett. Tammy Scalzo now in the 4th spot. Okay, back into G-Stock with car number 1. And that is John McDonald. John in with a 62.543. And that is about a 0.3 pickup for John McDonald, car number 1. Next to finish, car number 2. And that is Bob Clark, who was right up there yesterday. He's in with a 60.547. 60.547. That'll be a big help for Bob Clark, as is going to move herself back into the lead. Meanwhile, car 85, Cindy Feinberg, crosses the lights with a 64.218, 64.218 for car 85, Cindy Feinberg. And that'll leave us with Tammy Scalzo, who's sitting in 2nd after first runs, with a 62.157. So a lot of close times here in D-Stock Ladies, and we will be looking at Lynn Collins in the lead now by 0.20 of a second over Jarrett Zoner, with Ann Heller moving herself back to the 3rd spot, about a little under 7/10 behind Jarrett. Tammy Scalzo now in the 4th spot. Okay, back into G stock with car number 1. And that is John McDonald. John in with a 62.543. And that is about a 3/10 pickup for John McDonald, car number 1. Next to finish, car number 2. And that is Bob Clark, who was right up there yesterday. He's in with a 60.547. 60.547. That'll be a big help for Bob Clark, as he was sitting in the 8th trophy spot after yesterday. And that is going to be +1 for car number 101. Phil Cogan, his time is 64.738. 64.738, again, +1 for car 101, Phil Cogan. Gene Kinser, our next driver to finish. And Gene is in with a time of 60.953, 60.953. And that is one of our quick times in the G-Stock class right now. Gene Kinser, 60.953. Next to finish, Sean Whipple, car 115, with a 60.182, 60.182. That is now our second quick time in class behind Rick Quinones. And next to finish is car number 119, David Fauth, our second place driver from yesterday. And he comes through the lights with a 59.177. That is by far our quick time in class, 59.177 for David Fauth. All right, so again, David Fauth with the top time, even on dirty runs. That is the quick time. Time in for Rich Wise now is 60.164, 60.164. And that is going to be +1 for Rich Wise, who was sitting in the 13th and final trophy spot from yesterday. So we're going to see some big changes in the results after first runs. Here comes John McKeever. John sitting in the 9th spot after yesterday. Car number 140 with a 59.975, 59.975. Now our second quickest time in G-Stock, with Kevin McCormick out there next to finish. Kevin in his own car now, as they had a tranny shipped into Kansas City yesterday, and one of their local people works in a tranny shop back in the San Francisco area, helping him put it in. Kevin in with a 59.956, 59.956. And that is now our second quickest time, but that is still almost 0.8 of a second behind David Fauth's run earlier with Neil. And that is Rich Wise, who was in the last trophy spot after yesterday, looking to clean it up here. 62.519, 62.519. And that's no help in time. He actually slows down by 2.4 seconds and apparently picked up a couple of cones in the process there at the finish. Next to finish, John McKeever, car number 140. And John, who is sitting in 4th after first runs, in with a 59.814, 59.814. That is a 1/10 pickup for John McKeever, so it won't help him in the standings, but it is an improvement. Here comes Kevin McCormick sitting in 3rd after first runs. Again, we're looking for some 53s here. 53s, 59s, 58s is what I meant, but Kevin in with a 59.464, 59.464. He picks up half a second, actually a little less than half a second, so that won't help him in the standings with Neil Sapp, our next car to finish, who is in 2nd. Again, we're looking for the 58s now. He's in with a 59.614, 59.614, and that is David Fauth in the lead in that class right now. That unfortunately is +1, so no clean runs for Rich Wise, who yesterday was sitting in the 13th and final trophy position. No clean runs, he's going to be bumped out. Okay, John McKeever next to finish. He's in the 7th spot right now, and he's in with a 59.719. That's going to be +1, so John McKeever unofficially going to end up with the 7th trophy position. I believe we'll get you some better results here in a moment. Kevin McCormick in third after second runs, looking for a 58. Not going to do it. 60.1015, 60.015. And no help for John McKeever. And unofficially, it looks like David Fauth going to take the national championship as Neil Sapp has got a cone out there. And he's pushing for everything. He's in with a
4041. So Kevin going to be sitting in the, looks like, 5th spot now, as Jeff Brown had picked it up. Next to finish, John McKeever, and John with no clean runs at this point. 54.467. 54.467 is the time in for John McKeever. That'll be a big help as he cleaned it up. So Kevin McCormick actually in the 6th spot. Whoever has the keys to the 199 car, please get them to the car right now, as that person needs to run. Neil Sapp in with... That is... Next to finish, car number 54, that is Harry Arrow. He's in with a 56.689, 56.689, and that is a 6/10 pickup. Car number 55, Jerry Wolfong, our next car to finish in G-Stock, car 55, Jerry Wolfong. Sitting in 33rd after second runs, and he is in with a 56.457, 3/10 pickup for Jerry, 56.457. Car number 59 in G-Stock, our next car to finish, and that is Bradley Lamont, excuse me. Car number 59, who is sitting in 25th. He's in with a 55.57.
61.634. 61.634. No help for Chris. He's going to have to sit on his first run. And next to finish, car number 54. That's Harry Arrow. And with a 62.966, 62.966. All three of Harry's runs within 0.07 of a second of each other. This run precisely 1/1000 slower than his first run. Car in number 55. That is Jerry Wilfong. He's in with a 61.195, 61.195. No help in time, and he is going to be +1 as well. Car number 59 next to finish. That's Bradley Lamont. He's going to be +2 at least with 61.719, 61.719 +2 for Bradley Lamont. So he's also going to have to sit on his first run, as it was his only clean run. Next to finish with a 61.443. So again, grid, Jeff Robinson, car 45, will be getting a rerun, as John Bieberly apparently had a little problem out there. All right, time in now. Car number 54, Harry Arrow. And Harry is in with a 62.965, 62.965 for car 54, Harry Arrow. All right, next to finish, car number 55, Jerry Wilfong. And he is in with a 63.384, 63.384 for Jerry Wilfong, car number 55. Next to finish appears to be car number 59. That is Bradley Lamont, and he comes through the lights with a time of 62.516, 62.516 for Bradley Lamont. So the second in with a 63.638, 63.638. And that is an improvement of 1.4 seconds for Jerry, so a big help for him. Car 51 coming in next. And that is Chris Fleming. Chris in with a 62.031. No help for Chris, 62.031. And that is also +1 for Chris Fleming. Next to finish, car 54. And car 54 is Harry Aro. Harry crossing the lights with a 62.972, 62.972, and that is 8 thousandths or 7 thousandths of a second slower than his previous run. Jerry Wilfong next to finish, car number 55, sitting in 32nd after first runs. He crosses the lights with a 61.139. That is a good time for Jerry, 61.139. That is a 2.2 second pickup for Jerry. So that'll be substantially helpful for him in the standings. Next to finish, car 59. That is Bradley Lamont. Bradley in 23rd after first runs, in with a 61.466. 61.466. Next to finish appears to be car number 59. That is Bradley Lamont, and he comes through the lights with a time of 62.516. 62.516 for Bradley Lamont. So the second half of G-Stock being a whole lot cleaner. We appreciate that, of course. And looks like next to finish, our third place driver from yesterday, Edwin Martins. And he is through with a 62.883. 62.883. So looks like there's going to be some pretty good sized changes at the top of G-Stock as we actually have the 7th place driver, Brian Smith, even with a cone, quicker than the time that Edwin Martins just ran.
Curtis Eames in with a 55.758, and that is car 72, 55.758. Bob Strange in with a 57.441, 57.441 for Bob Strange. And Adam Dean, car number 89, are next to finish. Car 89, Adam Dean, next to finish, and he's in with a 60.368. 60.368 for Adam Dean. Next to finish, Jason Saini in the 93 car. And Jason was sitting in 17th after second runs.
He's in with at least 2. That won't be any help in time for him anyway. Next car to finish is car number 79. That is Bob Strange, I believe. It certainly is. And he will be crossing the lights with a 63.312. 63.312. And we be watching for Bob Strange tonight. He's always one of the regulars at the talent show, or actually tomorrow night, excuse me. Next to finish, Adam Dean in the number 89 car, the old Zolero. He's in with a 67.090, 67.090. No help for Adam Dean. Next to finish, Jason Saini. He was 2 out of trophies after second runs. 60.665, and that is a 3/10 pickup for him. Potentially that could move him up into trophies, which is what Jason would like to have happen. So potentially he may have moved himself into a trophy position there with Gene Kinser at least still to run. 62.497. That's going to be +1 for Bob Strange. So it would have been a big help for him, a 1.6 second pickup, but negates it with a cone. Next to finish, Pete Hetman, car number 33 for his rerun. And again, Pete's sitting in 27th after first runs. He's in with a 62.692. And that is only a help of 52 thousandths of a second for Pete. Next to finish, car number 89. That is Adam Dean, sitting in the 42nd spot after first runs. Here from Detroit. Detroit region anyway. He's in with a 66.144, 66.144, and a nice pickup of 2.2 seconds for Adam Dean in the Oldsmobile Alero. All right, Jason Saini, car number 93, just finishing now. And again, he's in with a 60.988, 60.988 for Jason Saini. That'll be a big help for him as he had a cone on his first run. He also picks up 3/10 besides that. So Jason looking to get himself back up into trophies. Brian Leduc, our next 61.058, 61.058 for Curtis Eames. Bob Strange, car 79 in the Celica GTS, our next car to finish. And Bob's time is 64.054, 64.054 for Bob Strange, car number 79. Next to finish, car number 89, and that is Adam Dean in the Pontiac Grand Am. Well, actually, it says it's green here. Is that really the car that he's driving? Wow. All right, he's in with a 68.383, 68.383 for Adam Dean, car number 89 in G-Stock. Next to finish is Jason Saini, our 12th place driver from yesterday, and he comes in with a 61.268, 61.268. 0.463 plus 1 for Rick Quinonez. Next to finish, car 97, Christopher Kellogg, and he was sitting in 18th after first runs. He's rounding into the finish with a 61.855, 61.855, only an 0.008 pickup for Christopher Kellogg. But we'll take any improvements we can get.
Why don't you smoke some more pot? Why don't you go smoke some more pot?
Okay, we're about 2/3 of the way through this heat, so we're going to start needing Heat 5 workers to start checking in by the tent. Car number 101 in now, and that is Phil Kogan. Phil in with a 64.962, 64.962. Slows down a little bit, but cleans it up, so that'll be a help for Phil Kogan. Here comes Jean Kinser in the 107 car, and she is in with a time of 60.323, 60.323, a 0.6 improvement for Gene Kinser, who is sitting in the 11th trophy spot after first runs. So Gene going to be real happy with the improvement there. Next to finish, Phil Kogan. Phil in the 42nd spot after second runs, and he is in with a 64.935, 64.935. Picks up 27 thousandths of a second, so that's not going to be enough to move him anywhere. Jean Kinser, who is sitting in the final trophy spots, has been bumped out temporarily. She's in with a 60.328. That is not a help for her, so I believe that has moved her out of trophies.